Hey, y'all. So, I'm here. I also have my massage chair here. I'm a massage practitioner. And I'm very big on anti-stress and anti-anxiety. Because as women, that is something that we carry a lot of. A lot of stress, anxiety, but what is it? We don't know what it is. Sometimes in the moment, and sometimes it can lead to like other health conditions. I'm sorry, I'm going right into it because, I don't want to. You said let him use it? No. But yeah, so I joke about it, but it's real, So we all have our own stories about what we go through. I know for me, for myself, it was one particular moment. It was when I was in college, and I found out that I was pregnant. I wasn't with my dad, my baby dad, and I was embarrassed. It took everything in me to call my mom and tell her, that I had a baby out of wedlock. And, growing up in the church, just like, that's a big thing. And I felt like the weight on my shoulders. I was like this tension inside me, And I was a college student. I didn't have no money, And but when I called my mom, she soothed my nerves. She said, "We're gonna have this baby, and we're gonna do what we have to do to take care of the baby." And that lifted that weight off my shoulders. I didn't understand that I was having so many anxiety attacks throughout my pregnancy also, because I doubted myself. I was like, how am I gonna, yes, my mom is there, and at the time, my daughter's dad, he wasn't around. But now, I wouldn't change him for the world. He's like a great man, a great father, and I'm so appreciative. But the anxiety that I felt, it could have went really south. I'm like, what do I do? I'm such a horrible person, or these feelings I had inside, they were taking over me. No matter how much somebody said they don't have my back, I'm like, I don't have my own back. And that's what took me, to a dark place. And I had to pull myself out of it. Everybody around me were there for me, but when I didn't pull myself out, that's what led me to have those dark feelings. But what I want to talk to you about is how to manage that stress, how to get over the anxiety. You have to know that you're not alone. There are other women that went through something similar, if not the same thing. And it's okay to call on, help. We take, we get this kind of facade that we have to, be strong for ourselves. And we wear these different hats. And we're not allowed to have all these feelings, or we're just not able to carry throughout the day. But we have to know that there is help, and learning to pray and meditate and have a support system is so important. So, yeah, that was my story. But so if you don't know, anxiety is a perception or awareness of a future threat. When you're anxious, it's knowing something bad will happen. We don't know what and we don't know when, but we're convinced that something is going to happen. Your heart starts to race. You get the sweats. You get so shaky. And oftentimes it can cause panic attacks. panic attacks can come into like different forms, like isolated sleep paralysis. Has anybody ever felt that? When you're asleep and you cannot wake up, but you're awake. Your body can't move, and you're stuck because of all those feelings and all that tension you carry throughout the day. Your body can't move. I felt that way before, and it's a scary feeling. And it's like you can't even call out to pray if you wanted to. It's you literally are paralyzed. Then you have the physiological effects associated with hypertension, high blood pressure. Then there's situational panic attacks. It comes in the form of like phobias or so. When you're around many people, or just you're not able to speak clearly. You're not able to, perform in front of other people, whether it's just like how I'm standing up here, or even just in a crowded room. Then there's generalized anxiety disorder, when you're just consciously, consistently worrying. And then there's predisposed, when you have actual panic attacks, and it looks like a heart attack. And it's a buildup. But like I said, we're not alone, and we don't have to go through that. There are different forms of ways that we can, overcome those things from being anxious. Does anybody have a way that they think they are able to cope with anxiety? Or has anybody in here experienced anxiety? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, both. Yes. It's a scary feeling. Like, how does anybody in here cope with their stress? Yes, ma'am.
Well, at the time, I got this burning feeling, sensation all over my body. I had been the doctor spotted a spot on my liver. Okay, and it's like worry, and when that comes over you, that because I was worried, didn't know what it was, but I had a wonderful person at that time, my first lady here. She's my first lady, the harvest, and so she say, "Oh, that's nothing. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be all right."
Praise God.
Well, that kind of relieved me.
Yeah.
Right there. So when you have people in your life that believe and trust in the Lord, and always guide you back to where you that mind separates you from when you have these problems, okay? We already know that God He's there. But a lot of times, you get so scared for that moment until your mind is not really on it, knowing that God's going to take care of it. So it's good to have someone around to bring you right back to where you need to be.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what happened. And it was nothing.
Right.
It was just a figuration that they saw in X-ray, which probably still in my liver now, but it's nothing.
Praise God.
Thank you for sharing that. And that can be something scary. And when you said you had First Lady to kind of reassure you that everything's going to be okay, your mind changed.
Right.
And your thoughts change.
Right.
And so does your ability to recuperate. So that's amazing. Did anybody else want to share? Yeah.
tired of admitting I'm moving, so I can talk. So meditation was one of my biggest helps as far as calming the anxiety on a more consistent basis. Because anxiety is a racing of the mind. It's thinking about thoughts, thinking about the future, of things that really haven't happened yet. So meditation and yoga helps me remember to be in the present moment. And so those thoughts only have a certain amount of energy for today. That's what I need to focus on, use it for this moment, this day. So that helps really train my mind. So it starts in the mind. Helps to train my mind to be at ease and handle what you can handle at the moment.
I love that. Yeah. Yes. Because we're so focused about the future, we skip over the here and now. So yeah, that's great. Thank you. Whew. So now, like we know about the anxiety and how it can, cause those different things. Like Amanda said, we gotta have some kind of plan and action to help ease that anxiety. Like I said, the meditation, that also helped me as well. You can actually calm your mind. Fun fact, it's impossible to be anxious and relaxed at the same time. It's impossible. So you have to really train yourself to stop and take a moment. So, what I want to do is, first I want to explain, I have little baggies for you guys. So if you want to take a look at those. So, does everybody have one? If not, slide the one that's next to you. Yeah. So, inside there is a tissue. The tissue represents your emotions. It's okay to have emotions, and it's okay to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Your feelings are validated. Then I have a toothpick in there. You have to pick and choose what you allow to affect your day. Pick and choose. Yes. I have also a mirror in there. You have to start your day on a positive note. I put "Hello, gorgeous" on the back of it. Look at yourself and say positive things to yourself, because that's important. I have a piece of dark chocolate in there. Dark chocolate. But it is also very good for your heart.
Thank you.
I have a peppermint in there. Peppermints are good. Well, the actual oil or leaf is good for focusing your mind. Be focused on your goals. Be focused on the present moment. Be able to be in it. Then I have the clear bag. You have to be clear about your intentions for yourself. Yes. And then on the outside of the bag, there's a sticker. It's a flower, because just as flowers, we're unique and we're beautiful, and they're just great. All the flowers. All of them. Yes. And then I have a Superwoman Band-Aid in there. Yes. Or not Superwoman, Wonder Woman, I'm sorry. Wonder Woman. And it represents for you to live in your truth and know that even though you can be as strong as you are, I hear you, LeBrian. But to live your truth and know that even the strongest woman needs to protect themselves. So, yeah, so there's that, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And the notebooks, if you need to jot something down. You got a little notebook. That's what helps me. I'm big on journaling. Girl Keontae is. She actually has a journal, so if you guys need one of her journals, she's selling them. You can get with her. And now, what I want to do is go through what's it called? I have a good name for it. Give me 1 second. Progressive muscle relaxation. So we're going to do this, and this helps you to calm your mind, relax your body, and actually put yourself in the most relaxed state. So if you're coming up with something comes against you, you're able to just tense up your muscles, relax them, and you can see the difference between relaxed muscles and tense muscles. And that'll help you ease your mind. Give me 1 second. I'll put some relaxation music on for y'all.
That's what I said. I'm going to sit down. Music, that's what
The nation's IRAs and 401ks fall around $2.4 trillion.
Okay. I invite you all to close your eyes for a moment. Get comfortable. I know everybody just ate, so if you need to unbutton the button, go ahead. Or roll down. I'd like you to sit quietly for a few seconds. Breathe slowly and deeply. Draw in a deep breath through your nose. Allow your abdomen to fill with air. And then slowly exhale through your mouth. Allowing your breathing to become relaxed and calm. I'd like you to build tension in your lower arms by putting your arms out in front of you. Make a fist with your hands and pull up on your wrists. Feel the tension in your lower arms, wrists, fingers, knuckles, and hands. Focus on the tension. Notice the sensations of pulling, of discomfort, and of tightness. Hold this tension in your arms for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now relax. Let your arms relax onto the chair or on your lap. Focus on the sensations of warmth in your hands and in your arms. Feel the release from the tension and enjoy this feeling in your arms. Now let's build tension from your upper arms by pulling your arms back behind your chair towards your sides. Feel the tension in the back of your arms, radiating up to your shoulders and your back. Focus on the tension. Feel the tension and the burn in your shoulders. your arms for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now relax. Focus on your upper arms and feel the difference compared with the tension. Your arms should be warm and relaxed. Now we're going to build up tension in your lower legs. Flex your feet, pointing your toes towards your upper body. Feel the tension as it spreads through your feet and up through your calf muscles. Feel the tension spreading down the back of your leg, into your feet, and on your toes. Hold this tension for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Notice this difference in the muscles as they relax. Feel the release, the sense of now comfort, and the warmth of relaxation. Let's move to our chests. Build up your tension around your chest by taking a deep breath and holding it. Your chest is expanded and the muscles are stretched around your chest. Let's hold this inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel the tension around your front and around your back. Let that air go. Let the air escape your breath and breathe normally. Let the air flow in and out smoothly and easily. Release your tension as you exhale. Feel the difference between the muscles. Relax in comparison to the tension. Moving up to your shoulders, shrug your shoulders. Imagine that your shoulders are attached to strings that are being pulled up towards your ears. Feel the tension around your shoulders, radiating down into your back and up into your neck and the back of your head. Focus on the tension in your shoulders. Hold this tension for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Now we're going to work on your eyes. Squeeze them as tightly as you can. Hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Relax your face muscles. Feel this sensation and this deep relaxation all around your eyes and your cheeks. Your whole body is feeling completely relaxed and comfortable. I'm going to count from 1 to 5. You should feel yourself becoming more relaxed. 1. Let all of the remaining tension leave your Sink further and further into relaxation. 3. Feel more and more relaxed. 4. Very relaxed. 5. Deeply relaxed. 6. And enjoy these sensations of relaxation through your entire body. You're completely at ease and relaxed, feeling very calm and tranquil. Think about your breathing. As you inhale, your throat cools. As you exhale, it warms. You're in control of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, I want you to come back to this present moment. Feel the energy coming back. She goes. Continue to feel relaxed as your body awakens. You feel more alert. You can open your eyes. Slowly move your fingers and your toes. How does that feel?
Go. Take a nap, right?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that moment.
I have a question.
Yes,
So is
sir.
that part of your therapeutic, when we have an appointment with you, is that part of it?
Yes, afterwards, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but everybody can have like a few minutes of a back massage. I'll be doing that for you guys.
Just that little paper, I do need.
I'm
That little
sorry.
paper you was telling us to do, I was in and out of it, so.
Oh, I'll come over there to you. So yes, thank you.
So this is Arthur. He'll explain some stuff to you later. And I'm with Wade Dickens Jones. Pastor Beach had asked me to do this presentation. I was like, oh, well, you know, I've done this stress presentation a lot of times, but I was sitting on the couch and the Lord was like, but you never talk about what I say you should do about stress. I'm gonna tell y'all what the textbook says and I'm gonna tell you what the Lord says about stress. So we'll cover both of those. And we're gonna talk about all types of stress, but for my story, so it's kind of like you. I went to college, I did all that stuff, I got my bachelor's, and I went and got my master's, I got my doctorate degree, and then I got married. I was old, but I got married. And then you figure, all right, well, I've been married for 5 minutes, I started to be pregnant, like, what's going on? So then I'm like, and then, I'm like, it's been 3 months I was married, 6 months I was married, and then I'm like, well, I'm still not pregnant. So then I start stressing about that. So then I go to the fertility doctor, and then they want you to take this pill and take that shot. And then I'd be crying about it all day long. And then finally I was like, you know what, I just gotta let go and let God.
Amen.
So if it happens, it happens, and I think it will, but it's gonna happen on God's time. I don't know what it's so keep me in prayer, but that's my story. And if I had lived on campus, I'd probably have 10 kids, so. But we're gonna talk about stress. So stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension that results in adverse or demanding circumstances. So there's 3 types. There's acute, there's episodic, and there's chronic. So with acute stress, we get this all day, every day. It's a perceived challenge that happens kind of quickly and then it dissipates. So it's as simple as getting stuck in traffic, or you cooking something in the microwave and it boils over. It happens for that moment and then you go back to a normal state of being. So with that, sometimes you feel irritable, or you get sweaty, or you get a headache or a stomach ache, and then everything returns to normal. So this happens all the time. So like the other day I thought, oh, I'm at a stoplight, let me check my phone real quick, and then somebody behind me honked at me and made my heart beat real fast, and that was just like a quick stressor. So can someone give me like an acute stressor that has happened to you like in the last couple of days? Anything, and it happens anything. Could have been your car didn't start or something, just anything can be acute. So just,
I lost my keys.
yeah. And then you get stressed that you can't find, and then that creates more stress. So anybody with that big an acute stressor, this happens kind of dissipate. Yeah.
Lost my debit card.
Oh. Yeah, they're like, I'm the deli at the store. Yeah.
Looking at the time when you got there before stress.
Yeah, exactly. Disable. Disable any acute stressors.
Yeah, you can call when I was stressing about I had the anxiety when the doctor told me that he saw something in my liver, so that brought a lot of anxiety.
And then it's all good, you're just like, So then episodic stress, this is the acute stress that happens more frequently, or it lasts longer. So type A personalities usually keep acute stress going all the time. So these are our worry boards. So, anything. They see a hurt dog on TV, they think they can save them, or they're like trying to figure out how they're going to get the $19 a month to save the dog. Or like you tell them your problem and they take it on trying to fix it for you. The type B personalities, they just roll with it. Whatever happens, happens. Type A people, they are constantly stressed. And this type of stress, if it's not managed properly, can lead to clinical depression and heart disease and other things that affect you. The worst type of stress is chronic stress. This is the stress that is unrelenting and just kind of never dissipates. This is caused by like poverty, any type of abuseful relationship where you can't get out of it, a poor work environment, having a dysfunctional marriage. And this type of stress has more physical effects, like it can lead to insomnia, obesity, heart disease, hypertension, and diabetes. So this guy here, he kind of goes over like the actual physical effects of stress. So people think, oh, well, stress isn't that bad. No, stress can kill you. It can kill you. I used to work in the ER as a nurse, where you have people that come in and they have chest pain, and you think you work them up for a heart attack and everything's negative, and eventually it comes out, maybe something's going on at home or something at their job, and it presented like a heart attack, but it's really just a stressful situation. So stress can affect your brain. It can make it difficult to concentrate. You can feel anxious, you're depressed, you get irritable, you get moody, and sometimes you get just mind fog. Like, have you ever been so stressed, literally you can't even think straight? I mean, you're trying to concentrate, but you just can't even think straight. So there's also cardiovascular effects. So this is like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Even your joints and muscles, like Latoya helped us relax, but if you can have chronic inflammation, you can get tension, headaches, pain, muscle tightness. Your immune system is also affected by stress. You can have decreased immune function, lowered immune defense, increased risk of becoming ill, and an increased recovery time. It can affect your skin, you can have hair loss, you can get brittle, dry nails, dry skin, acne, delayed tissue repair. A lot of times we even feel the effects of stress on our guts. You can get poor nutrition absorption, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, pain, discomfort. I don't know if you've ever been so stressed like you literally get diarrhea. It's just like, but it happens a lot. And even with your reproductive system, you can get decreased hormone production, and that's for men and women. Men have hormones as well. You can have decreased libido or increase in your PMS syndrome. So, it's one thing if you get stressed and you let it go, but that chronic stress is what can really, really, really weigh on you and cause health problems. So, I was thinking about this presentation and I looked up just some Bible verses that I'm going to have her hand out, because sometimes things get so stressful, like all you can do is just be like Jesus. You just call in the name of Jesus. That's all you can do. But I'd like for you to keep this paper or take a picture of it in your phone, just to let you know when you're going through something, like just refer to this so that you can get some relief. So the first verse I found was Philippians 4 and 6. And it says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. I already let God know I want a baby. If it happens, it happens, and I had to just let it go. Let it go. So the next one is John 14 and 27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. The next one is Psalms 55 and 22. And this one says, cast your burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. And I had a hard time with this verse because have you ever, like I'll give this, I'm at work, and it's this lady that she'll let you know I don't believe in God. And she'll tell you that. So, but she just keep moving up the ladder. I'm like, how does she keep getting all these blessings and we in the same spot? But you know what? My time is not God's time. Amen. We don't know what he got for her. So I just gotta read my verse and keep on going and know that I'm not to be moved. The Lord's got me. So the next one is Psalms 118, 5 and 6. And it says, out of my distress I called on the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me free. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do to me? And that's another good one. Just remember, what can man do? God's got you. Proverbs 12 and 25. And it says, anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. And then we have Matthew 11, 28 through 30. So I read this verse and I got a little bit choked up. It says, come unto me, all who are labored and heavily laden, and I will give you rest. It says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So I read that 1,000,000 times, but I was like, I don't know what a yoke is. I had to look it up. So I'm like, oh, this is a good verse, but I mean, what is a yoke? So basically, yoke is like a harness or something that is around an animal's neck. So they use it to carry a plow or to be tied to another animal. So I know you guys you've been so burdened down that you literally feel like you have a yoke upon you. And if you read this verse, it just says that just take it to the Lord and he'll take your yoke and you can have it his for his is easy. And that's another. So if you don't understand, sometimes you gotta look a word up and make it to make sense. So don't be afraid to Google. That is your word. But yeah, and I've been guilty of that. I just read a verse like, oh yeah, that's good, but I don't understand it. So you gotta do a little bit of research sometimes. And the last one is Romans 8 and 13. It says, what then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? And that's the one that I need to put on the wall at work. But these verses, if you get to where you just can't make it, just read one of these and know that the Lord is with you. Does anyone have any actual questions about stress or the effects it can have on you? Because I didn't go into a cellular level. Yes.
I guess what category would PPD or PPA fall under when it comes to stress?
Postpartum depression. It would be more along the chronic stress because it's a longer period of depression. you know, you have your baby and then you're sad for 5 minutes. Like it's a long going thing. And with that, you just want to, you know, reach out to your circle. Because sometimes you just need maybe somebody to take the baby for an hour while you go get your feet done. Or, you know what I mean? It's not going to relieve it all the way, but you know, you get a little bit of relief from that. And I think a long time ago we had more of a sense of community, and now it's had every woman for herself. And you don't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be.
How does chronic stress affect your skin?
So it can do all kinds of things. Some people get dry, brittle skin, where you know they peel and they flake. Some people it makes them produce more oil and they get like more of an acne type of thing. So you know there's products you can do or use to help with that, but sometimes you just gotta alleviate the stress so that you can get that. So and there's all you can take meds and stuff when you're depressed, but we are actually talking about sometimes you need holistic stuff. So you need to pray, you might need to use like a soap that doesn't have scents or lotions or things like that, the African soap. Like sometimes you don't need Mary Kay or oils or whatever, you just need some all natural soap.
So it can cause body rashes also.
It can, and stress can cause so many things. Like I get patients they come to you with a complaint, and I'm like a detective, so it's my job to figure out what's making them sick. And sometimes I can be like, all right, this x-ray shows your foot is broken. You know, it's that simple, but sometimes the stress is eating away at them. I don't have a reason. Your blood work is normal, your x-ray is normal, this is normal, like, it's just stress. You know, sometimes you don't have a clear-cut answer as to what is going on, it's just stress. So, yes.
What makes the difference in when you have anxiety? Like sometimes you eat more, eat less.
So that just depends on what type of person you are and what your comfort is. So some people get stressed and they're comforted by food, or they're comforted by the feeling of being full. And some people, they get so stressed to where they know they can't eat anything, they're gonna throw it up or have diarrhea or something. So it just depends on what type of person you are and what you get comfort from. So I get comfort from boredom. Like sometimes I get stressed, I'm like, I can't stop. But then there's other people that get stressed and they lose 10 pounds. They don't do nothing but drink water and take too much. Yeah, I'm like, easily out of my control.
Stress be caused mainly by negative thinking.
Yes, sometimes you could be your stress.
Yeah.
Like Latoya, not our Latoya, she's my little sister. Like the other little Latoya, say, people were building her up, but she wasn't building herself up. She was literally beating herself down. And she's a great person, a great woman of God. But when you don't believe it yourself,
That's right. Yeah.
it's nothing you do until you change your thinking. But yes, definitely.
Thank you.
And don't let people think you're crazy. If something's going on and they can't, it's that simple. And they can't find the reason. Sometimes it simply is stress. Like you're not crazy. And they'll let you think you are. But you also sometimes are not comfortable with your provider enough to explain what's going on to where they can get the full picture. So. And like I didn't have any gifts, all I got to my Bible verse. But yes, fold them up, put them in the back of your robe, and keep them with you. Like no one. That goes. Any other questions? All right, we can and now you've been in church, you've never been Hello. So first of all, I just want to thank our colleges for having me here. I want to thank Lakeisha again for reaching out to me
I was sitting there and I've been talking to either one of these ladies like about what we're going to speak about, but what I'm going to talk about really ties into the things that they said. Is really, I feel like it's going to bring it home. So, just wanted y'all to know that was God, that wasn't, I didn't do that on purpose. And something else I wasn't planning on sharing, but as I was sitting there, we were talking about calmness and stress and things like that. So I'm going to speak to you guys today about depression and a little bit about what I've been through, but mostly what's kept me out of it. And this morning I woke up, this is my first, I guess, official speaking engagement. So thank you. I'm excited about. I'm not shy to the microphone. So I woke up this morning. I'm prepared. I've been, going through my speech and things like that, and I was calm, like to the point where I was almost concerned. I was like, I'm good. Like I'm not nervous, and I want to give a thank you also to my friend Corinne. She's here helping record me. Her husband is my speaker coach. So I'm talking to him. I asked him, like, can you talk? He called me. He was like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm not nervous. Like, I feel good. I was like, don't I sound chill? And he was like, you do. He was like, that's because you're prepared. Amen. He was like, you know how to do this. You got this. You're a speaker. You're well equipped. So go enjoy. Like, what's wrong with you? But it really caused me to pause and think as we were talking, just the things that I've been through. And I was like, I have prepared myself. God has helped me prepare. I am equipped to be here to do this and talk to you guys. So I wanted to share that at the beginning. That was not planned. So thank you guys. So again, my name is Amanda, better known as Amanda Jean Dukes. I'll explain that in a minute. That is my full name. But my name means, Amanda means lovable or worthy to be loved. I love that. I love love. I love giving love, and I love receiving love. There is love all in this room. I feel it. You guys look amazing. You feel amazing. So I wanted to thank you and encourage you to continue to send me love. We can really just have a conversation. I like to talk, so that's okay. But love is also what brought me here. As Mrs. B said, like, I think it's amazing how, like, we just knew each other. I knew where Brittany was. I didn't know what Brittany was doing. But for Lakeisha to reach out, not knowing that I was preparing to do this type of thing, mental health is something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I really am hoping to touch and help anybody. If it's one person in the remainder of my time here on earth, I absolutely am grateful for that. So I was just so excited. I knew it was God. So I knew I had to be prepared today. So love is here. If you'd asked me 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been standing right here in front of you. This is completely a manifestation of who I am and what I have inside. Little story. Well, a little bit about me before I tell you my story. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a multimedia producer. I know, what is that? Fancy words, right? I help produce live events, live streams, podcasts, films, things like that. So I do a lot of production, which is why it was important for me to get this recorded. And so when I do that and I host a show called Let's Talk Live on Facebook, like on Mondays at 11 a.m. Shameless plug. I talk. So I make sure that I'm hosting and just making sure that I'm, people get to know me. And as I became a host, I got introduced as Amanda Jean Dukes. So where I go, I introduce myself as that because I think it's fancy. I do love my name, Mommy. Thank you. So that's why the dramatics of the Amanda Jean Dukes. Just so we're clear. So a little story about me, just to kind of get into the mind of like how we are when we're literally growing up. When I was younger, we went to visit my grandmother, who we called Nanny. She was in the hospital in West Virginia. She wasn't doing great. So we're in the waiting room, and my family's crying. They're upset, the adults and everything. Mommy, how old was I? 3 years old. And I took it upon myself to grab the Bible that was sitting in the waiting room and tell everybody, guys, well, it's gonna be okay because it says so right here. At 3. And I just think it's so amazing how as kids that we already know not to just accept the defeats, right? To accept the death, that we know that there's life out there. So I just thought that was important for me to share. Now, as we get older, things happen, you grow. That childlike mentality kind of tends to fade, and things happen. Things happen that aren't great, they don't feel great. So for me, it was first year in college, got pregnant, had my daughter at 19. That wasn't a plan. I had always planned to be in broadcast media. That's what I was on my way to do. At the time, I felt like it was interrupted. I now see how it was possible for me to continue, but that's another story. I miscarried, I had my son, and then I miscarried my third child. And a week later, I had to have an emergency hysterectomy. Must have been a complication during the DNC. And yeah, so shortly after I turned 25 years old. Wow. So that sent me, as you can imagine, into like a downward spiral, a dark place, as we've been saying. That's very much what it is. And I kind of accepted that darkness. Like I accepted this is where I am now, and started to do things that people do when they feel dark. Things that aren't so great, that don't really match their characteristics that they were given, right? So I tried to numb that pain, but I realized every time that numbness wore off, y'all know that pain was right there. It was waiting. It didn't go anywhere. So in my mind, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to get rid of me altogether then. If I can't fix this, I don't want to feel this all this time. Because I knew I wasn't being my normal self. I wasn't loving. I didn't love myself. I wasn't trying to talk to people. I don't want to get dressed, brush my teeth, take a shower. Getting real, those are things. Those feel like chores. So I created this avatar. I noticed I created this avatar. An avatar is a fake replica of who we are. And it may look like you, and it'll even sound like you, use the same words, but it's not you. It's not who God created you to be, correct? But most of us, we create these avatars to survive. I was trying to survive at that point. But now the avatar was malfunctioning too, so I felt I had no other choice. But I realized I really didn't want to die. That was just an option I thought that I was given. I just wanted the pain to go away. And the only way to heal a wound or an injury is to take care of it. You can't just, if you get a cut, you don't just cut it off like that. Just do a bigger cut. Like, cut yourself or scrape your knee, right? What do you do first? What's the first thing you do? Clean it. You gotta clean it out, right? Does that feel good? It burns, kind of stings a little bit. It's uncomfortable. But you don't just clean it once, slap a Band-Aid over it, poof, it's magically better. Nope. Next day, you gotta clean that bad boy again. You gotta put a fresh Band-Aid on it. The wounds inside are the same way. You have to take care of them every day. You gotta clean them out. And sometimes looking at that wound is uncomfortable. Feeling it is uncomfortable. You will purposely throw dirt on a fresh cut. So why do we purposely throw all the gunk and dirt on the inside wounds? When I say gunk, I mean drinking, the smoking, drugs, unhealthy relationships, we'll say, just to cover up that inner wound. They only get infected and become bigger. So I got tired of feeling that, and I remember crying out to God. When I mean crying, imagine a dramatic scene, because this is what it felt like. Like, I literally remember crying out to God, like, okay, like, I don't want to feel this, I don't want to die. Please take this feeling of wanting to die away. But once I did that, well, I wanted to live, but I had realized my wound had got so large that dying only felt like the only option. But that was because my wound that I had been making worse was now affecting and infecting other people around me, the people that I love most. So once I told God that I wanted to live and accepted life and living, there was this pivot. Any sports fans in here? Y'all play basketball, we do something where we pivot. You take the ball, you only move one leg. Turn. I'm not good at it in penis. So you pivot and you do a turn. So I pivot And I shifted and I changed directions where I was going. I was facing, that dark, it was just like a black hole. When I pivot, I seen like a glimpse, there's a glimpse of light. And that light represented hope. Which is very easily lost when you're depressed, overly stressed, when anxiety almost cripples you. I realized that these things that I'm noticing now that are good and they're positive, they've really always been there. They were always there. I just couldn't see them.
Right.
That light was, I didn't have a light to illuminate them. I had accepted darkness, so I focused on the dark things, the negative feelings, the shame of whatever it was that I was doing and living in. But once I accepted that light, the positive and good were illuminated and easier for me to see. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like no easy, perfect ride, okay? I still had those moments where I was down, felt depressed, lacked self-esteem, didn't love myself, had my head hanging low. But when I looked up, there was that light. That light representing hope, and I had a reminder that I had to keep going. It felt good. The light felt good. Y'all been warm. It's cold and snowing outside. Y'all can get beside fire and it's warm, right? You just want to cozy up to it. That's how that light felt. It's how hope feels. So, although I almost died and wanted to give up my life, which there may be somebody here today who's felt that. There may be somebody today who is feeling that, or know somebody who has felt or feeling that. And the funny thing is, God taught me that that's what He wanted me to do. The thing is, we think we have to die to life. God wants us to die to the idea of death. He wants us to choose life. So He wants us to give up our lives to Him and choose Him, that light, that hope that He has always provided, that's inside of all of us when we are born. People are not depressed. Situations are depressing. I'm going to say that one more time. People are not depressed. Situations are depressing. God did not make us depressed and sad. A feeling of loneliness or being held down. That's what depressed means. It completely, which I was shocked. They say you looked up words, right? So I knew what depressed was, but I never got the definition. It says completely dispirited. That means you're taking the spirit out of you when you are depressed, the living spirit. The good news is all you have to do is invite that baby back in. Invite that spirit back in. So when you get depressed, these are some things to remember. These are things that keep me going and moving. So when you get depressed, you're pressing the spirit out. Make room for it. Invite it back in. I learned the term, I think Kareem was actually one of the first people I heard say it. When you're growing spiritually and elevating, you always say, I'm being stretched. But why do we stretch? Why do we stretch before and after a workout? Keep those muscles flexible. Keep them strong. Because without it, the muscles shorten and become tight. When you call on them for activity, the bad boys are weak, unable to perform. And they'll break. They'll break if you overwork them. So if you're holding on to your emotions, like a lot of us do, that make you depressed, cast them out upon the Lord. I had that down before you gave them scriptures. Come on, Lord. That's when it was like, whoa. Cast them out upon the Lord. Because when you cast them out, guess what? You've made room. There's now room. You now have room for all of those things that you need that spirit to come back in. You got to invite it. God is, He's a gentleman. He has manners.
Amen.
You just have to invite it back in. So, I want to remind you guys that my name is Amanda Jean Dukes. Amanda means lovable and worthy to be loved. God is love. His love brought me out of darkness, and that same love can bring you guys out too and keep you out. Thank you guys so much.